Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the Buffett and Beyond Research Saturday ETF Report. And this is March 1st, 2025. And remember, folks, if you want to live on the beach like Jimmy Buffett once did, you've got to invest even better than Warren Buffett does now. And let's go over our NASDAQ 100 top stock portfolio for 2025. We've got about a dozen stocks in there, and I just want to show you that as I'm recording this midday on Friday, the market has just turned flat. And we want to look at the QQQs, and last time we did this about 2 weeks ago, we were up 2.5%. The S&P was up 2.9%, and now, as I recorded this midday, the QQQs are down 1.8%, and the S&P is flat, just starting to turn negative. So the S&P is down over 3% in the past 2 weeks, while the QQQs are down almost 5% in the past 2 weeks. Now, what did our top stocks portfolio do? It's still up 0.9%, so it's still beating the S&P 500 and decidedly beating by about almost 3% the QQQs themselves. Now, that's not common because usually the top stocks will go down a little bit more than the index, but when they go up way more than the index. So this portfolio was up 6.5% about 2 weeks ago, and now it's up 0.9%, so it's a drop of 5 percentage points over that particular time. So it dropped just a little bit more than the QQQs, which are the NASDAQ 100 stocks. But that's pretty good how this portfolio performs when the market is good. Now, last year, this portfolio returned 47.2%, while the S&P returned about half that at 23.3%. 2023, it was up 98%, while the S&P was up 24%. So it outperformed by 4 times. Over 5 years, it's up 5 times that of the S&P 500. Now, next week, we're going over the year 2022, when this portfolio, or our top stocks, it wasn't the exact same portfolio, but our top stocks returned less than the QQQs and less than the S&P 500. So therefore, we want to go over 2022, and we want to see how we can hedge that much better, because these are just pure numbers. If you bought and hold, this is what you got. So, but we don't like those kind of drawdowns, and next week we'll be going over that in detail. And let's see what the QQQs are doing. Boy, oh boy, see this short-term indicator up here? Really wants to turn up a little in here. But unless this can close up today, this is Friday, or close up Monday, we're going to negate this little double bottom in here, which is bullish. It means that it is coming to an end. But look down here. This is the 200-day moving average. I'm pretty sure this wants to go down about 10 points and touch that 200-day moving average before it turns up. And that will be the line in the sand. Let's go to the S&P 500. Same type of thing. It's trying to gain a little momentum here today. And right now, as I'm recording this, the S&P is flat. And here's that 200-day moving average down here. So we're about 150 points away, which is 2 days travel from here if it does want to do that. So we'll see. And the Dow Industrials, it just did give a little bullish signal in here. However, down here, this has not turned up yet. It wants to, but it has not turned up yet. So we'll see what it does. The close on Friday, and we hear there's arguing coming from the White House with the president of the Ukraine, and they are arguing about certain things relative to Russia, relative to the Ukraine, and they're going to have to work that out. And we hope they do, and then you'll see this market move. But right now, going into the weekend, with that kind of arguing going on, the market is a little hesitant that they don't want to be long or holding any type of positions, or the traders don't want to hold any positions over the weekend. Now let's look at the oil. Well, the oil has been on a decline over the past couple of weeks, and boy, oh boy, the oil has. Actually, these are very nice trends for those of you who are trading oil, if you're catching them at all. But this was a little tricky in here. Looked like it was going to go up, and then when it turned down, it really turned down right in here. And that was a nasty down. And, of course, it's going down with the market. And you can see we are very, very oversold in the XOP, which is the S&P Oil and Gas Exploration. Here you can read it up here, Oil and Gas Exploration and Production ETF. And when we look at the transportation, you can see it's just trying to bottom in here, because we go back to this last point in here, and now we're matching it. But is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? And we just don't know, folks. Gold, yeah, that's starting to drop. That had a beautiful, beautiful run up. And we can see this nice crossover down here. This was, boy, one of those nice trades if you got into it, because it was just, here we are, it's going up. And it went up for a long way. So some people made some serious money off of this, and now it's starting to trend down. This intermediate term indicator has turned down. And when we look at the technology, we see the technology trying to do the same thing, trying to form this bullish divergence in here. But boy, oh boy, it's we're just a couple hours away from closing. We don't know if it's going to close positive or not. And decidedly down here, we are now in oversold territory, and we have to see this black line down here turn up over this red line, and that might be a little ways away. Nasty thing is that it is below the 200-day moving average. That's not a good sign. Same with the semiconductor, down below the 200-day moving average, and we had this move down to the downside, but yet we still have this little indicator, bullish indicator, which says, gee, I really want to go up, but we just can't make it right now. Going into the weekend, again, the traders do not want to be long their positions going into the weekend. So, folks, that's it. The charts do not look very well at all. The portfolio is sitting at a positive 1%, while everything is negative, while the QQQs are negative, and the S&P has just turned negative, and we're still positive by just 0.9%. So we'll see what happens. We're hanging in there, and we hope to see some activity next week with because we're so oversold in so many areas that we just might see the bounce coming pretty soon. So you go out this weekend, walk on this beach like Jimmy Buffett once did, be with your friends, walk on the golf course if you're up north, be with your friends, be with your loved ones, take your mind off the market, because guess what? The market will be here on Monday, and folks, we'll stay safe, and we'll see you in a couple of days.